I'm Julia Piquet and welcome to Motorsport Report. In today's episode, I'm joined by Indy 500 contenders Oriol, Servia and Carlos Munoz. Let's take a look at what they had to say ahead of this weekend's historic race. Well, Carlos, let's start with you. You're back with Andretti Autosport for this year's Indy 500, so a very familiar team. You joined them about 6 years ago when you did your Indy Lights debut. You've placed second place at Indy 500 on two different occasions, once in your IndyCar rookie year in 2013 and 2 years ago. Yeah. How hard is it to come back to the Speedway having to learn a whole new aero kit in a very short amount of time?
Coming up to Indy, I was a little bit worried. I said, oh man, I don't know, it's gonna take me a while to adapt to it. I did some simulation with the Honda simulator back in Indy. Then before going to the car, I said, Michael, don't worry, you will be flat on the second lap. Just take it easy. And whatever he said, second lap, I was flat through the track. You know, also having a good car, second lap.
It took you 2 laps?
2 laps.
What happened the first lap?
Just one, and be careful. And then, you know, it was great. The car was so good in the beginning, to begin with. So that helped me to be in a really good team, knowing that when you're gonna go out, your car is good. You're not gonna suffer from the rear that you don't want to suffer from the rear in an oval, right? So it's great to be back with the team with 6 cars. It's a lot. I wanted to do, actually, everything started in Marco's wedding. So I was there in the wedding. I asked Michael, what are you doing for the 500? I said, we're gonna do 6 cars. We have one available. Are you up to do the 500? And I said, he's gonna be building house because. He said, yeah, it's gonna be in house. So you know, like all the 6 cars are the same, completely same build, like super good, everything new. So yeah, we started from there. Let's see how the race is gonna be.
I read that when you found out that Danica Patrick would be racing in the Indy 500, you kind of got a little chill up your spine there for a second.
A little bit, because nothing had been signed yet at the moment, right? So you got Danica with big sponsors behind her. We are like, oh, you know, I have this sponsor, you know, back and forth, and you have Danica with the big sponsor. She used to race with Andretti. I don't know if in the end they make contact or not, but that worried me a little bit. I said, no, now Danica's gonna come back here with a big sponsor. But you know, Michael said, I don't know if they talk together or not. But he said, we want you. I think you can win the 500, and so it was great to Michael giving me that opportunity, because for sure everyone wants to be in Andretti car for the 500, being so successful there.
Now, Oriol, you and Pablo Montoya were IndyCar's first initial test drivers for this year's aero kit. Did that initial insight into the aero kit's behavior help you in your return to the Speedway this month?
Absolutely. No, I don't think so.
Yeah, he had refresher day and everything. I didn't have
the truth is, it was great because you know, it gave me some laps before anyone with the car. But the truth is, when we started the testing, the development, we did the first day at the Speedway. That was the only, and we did only one day. So we didn't do many laps, unfortunately. I hope we did more. But it's great. No, listen, it was fun the whole year to work with IndyCar and Honda and develop the car. But actually, the guys that race full time, they did a test a month ago in Indy. They did way more laps in 2 days than I did, you know. But now I'm happy. Same as Carlos. I'm in a great team that I knew they were going to give me a car to win, and regardless how many laps you have, you know, in Indy especially, the car is so important that without a good car you have no chance. So we both are in great places that you know, if we do our jobs right, we should be contending for the win at the end for sure.
You have a long relationship with the Ray Hall Letterman Lanigan racing team, but this year your Indy-only ride comes courtesy of a partnership between Ray Hall and Scuderia Corsa, the IMSA sports car champions. Now, how did that deal come about?
Yeah, I'm super excited. As you said, I've done the race with the RLL team many times. This is actually my 5th Indy 500 with them. But obviously we haven't been able to, you know, do a great job because we haven't won yet. You know, we've done well, but not won. And we brought the Scuderia Corsa, which is a team with great success in IMSA. They won Daytona, they won Le Mans. And I'm just trying to put as many winners together, so hopefully they take me to the winner's circle. No, jokes aside, they're both great groups, and I couldn't be happier to have them both involved in my car. It's the first time that Scuderia Corsa steps into the IndyCar world, and they're doing it in a big way at the biggest race in the planet, really, the Indianapolis 500. So it's been great to put the two teams together, see how they work. It's usually two teams that they raced kind of against each other in IMSA, so we didn't know how that would work, but it's been a perfect marriage, and we all have the same aim, which is obviously to win the race, and it's been a great help to have both really in my car.
Carlos, is being part of a 6-car team, does it help in your learning curve, or does it just get confusing with so much information and that amount of data?
Yeah, I think you have to have a really good team, a really organized team, because when you have so much information from all the cars, maybe you get lost a little bit. But I think Andrea can handle that pretty well because they've been doing that for a long time, especially with the new cars, with 6 cars. It's a lot of data. Maybe they say too much quantity is not good, but I think they were taking in the right approach.
And what's next for you after the Indy 500? Are you planning, or do you want to come back to IndyCar full time?
Yeah, I think that's the goal, right? We're trying to do some races by the end of the year, but I think the ultimate goal is to be full time next year. It's getting harder and harder each time, with the sponsors, with people coming from Europe, with the sponsors here to America.
Does the fact that Sunday's race might very well be your only IndyCar race this year, does that add to the pressure to get a good result, to prove, I deserve a full-time place here in IndyCar?
No, I think the approach of this year is similar to the one in 13. I'm enjoying each lap. I go out in the car and say, okay, I'm gonna enjoy this session. Even in qualifying, didn't well I've expected. I wanted to be more in front. I say, okay, we are here in the show. Let's enjoy it. You never know if it's your last one or not, but I think you have to have that mentality to have fun, to enjoy it, and to do your work, right? If you put your pressure in the back, you have to be good, because if not, you're not gonna race anymore. I think that's bad for you, right? So I think I'm just trying to do my job, go day by day, and then I think the result will come on Sunday, because I think we have done a pretty good job during the whole month, so we will see. I think Oriol maybe takes that approach as well, to enjoy each lap on that track especially, because you never know if you're gonna go back or not.
Well, Oriol, you had some big problems finding speed on your first 2 quali outings on Saturday, but then on Sunday you went out there and went faster than full-timer Graham Rahal. So what was the problem there, and what secrets did you guys find out overnight?
Secrets. I'm sure Carlos wants to know secrets, especially because we're also pitted next to each other in the race. So. No, listen, it's Indy. You can be doing great the whole week, the whole month, and then all of a sudden everything can change so quick. And that's exactly what happened. Like, actually on qualifying day, we have a 30-minute practice before qualifying start. And I went out and my car was fantastic. Like, it was great. I actually came in the pits and I told my engineers, do not touch this thing, let's go straight to qualifying. And usually, when you have that good feeling, it stays like that, because these cars are super precise. But I went out in qualifying, and honestly, the thing wanted to kill me. It was like, I've never had anything like this go on, and we thought first was one problem, and we thought we solved it. We went out again and again. I've never in my life really been scared in a race car, and I was because I just didn't have control, and nothing we expected was happening, and every corner, Indy is very challenging. You have 2 long straights over a mile, and you have a 90-degree corner that you get there over 230 miles an hour, like 390 kilometers per hour, and you get there, and you've been testing for a week, the car will stay, but once it gives you a few signs that it may not stay and you still have to go and try, it's hard. And I'll tell you, we had an issue that we didn't discover till Sunday. So when I qualified Saturday, the last corner of the last lap, I entered the corner and my car was bottoming, was crazy, impossible almost to drive, honestly. And I entered the corner, first time in my life, I prayed to Firestone. And I truly did on the car. I said, please, Firestone, hold my car one more corner. please. I honestly thought I was going to end up in the wall in the last lap. So I was really thankful that Firestone gives us the tires that gives us, because it really is the only reason I was able to qualify. And then eventually for Sunday we found what the problem was, and then we were good. So we just need to, it's a lot of engineering, and you're running these cars in such a fine edge to beat the other guys, like this guy here, that it doesn't take much to be completely off the window, that we say, and the car becomes from perfect to almost impossible to drive. So,
well, for our viewers who aren't, that savvy in the whole technical aspect of the car, if your engineers, your mechanics, if they don't touch the car from the moment you said, all right, don't touch the car, it's perfect, how can it change so much? Is it the track? Is it the temperature? Is it, are the outside factors?
Let's start by saying, and I didn't come up with this, the first time I came to Indy, I'm going to start by saying too, I just had a five-month daughter that I love more than anything. But they said the Indianapolis Motor Speedway is a little bit like a woman. It's booty, and you don't know what you'll find every day when you get there. So, and the truth is, the reason is like that is because if it just changes the wind a little bit, or it's a little warmer, a little hotter, the track affects a lot of our cars. For example, I'm talking about my car was bottoming a lot. We run our cars 1 millimeter off the ground because the floor of the car, you have to think of it as like a vacuum, right? When you get close to the ground in a vacuum, your vacuum at home, you get close to the ground, and the very end, it really sucks hard, right? So our cars, you want them to be really close to the ground, because that's when it's more effective. But the second it touches the ground, it cuts the air, and you lose all the downforce. So that's what was happening. We were just too low for a problem we had, and it would touch the ground, and then it completely slides. So just an example, it just changes 5 degrees the temperature, you lose air pressure, you lose the downforce, and then you're too high. If it's a little too cold, then it's the opposite. So it's tricky. That's why it's so difficult, and it takes so many engineers.
So gentlemen, this question is for the both of you. If I asked you what would be your preferred outcome in Sunday's race, you'd probably tell me, I want to win, as you should, you're a driver. But are there any unspoken targets that you set yourself as a driver, just in case the win doesn't come? I mean, at the end of the day, only one person wins in 33. So is there any goals that you set for yourself? For example, I want to make up at least X amount of places, or I want to at least finish in front of Danica Patrick, or something like that,
I think for my case, I think I don't put numeric goals. Like I said, I want to enjoy the race. I want to have fun race. I think my goal is to have a good car. When you have a good car, you enjoy the race. Even if you don't win, you enjoy the race because you're overtaking, your car is going to be there. If you have a bad car, you're not going to enjoy the race, anything. I want to enjoy the race. I want to pass and get out of the car and say, okay, I gave my 100%. Sorry guys, that's my 100%, and I think that's it. I think I'm gonna be happy with that for sure. I mean, for me, it's gonna be first or nothing, because I've been second twice, so I want to win this race. So if I'm in the position, I don't know, I will do my best, and I will take all the risks that I need to win that race.
Yeah, I think in our case, as Carlos said, he finished second twice, I finished fourth. As a goal, you just win or nothing. Nothing else really gives you anything. But you just want to be in a position that you're contending for that win in the last lap. What I think both of us, and probably every driver in the field, for a full year is almost dreaming and having nightmares and thinking of that last lap. You're running second, and you're entering the last corner second, and you pass the guy for the win, right? That's how you try to position yourself for. And as Carlos said, you need a good car. It's 500 miles. That if the car, imagine if my car would be as bad as I had in qualifying, it would be the longest day of my life. But if the car is good, you have a lot of fun, because you have 3.5 hours that you're playing against the best drivers in the world doing that thing, and the best teams, and it's a lot of fun.
Well, last question. If any of you do win the Indy 500 this year, will you fly back down to Miami and give me an interview?
I live here.
Oh, it's a bit of hesitation there.
50 minutes away, so you just, hey, Carlos, come here for interview. Take my car, come here. For him, he wants to live the Hollywood life.
Deal.
I'll come have a look at come see Julia.
All right, guys. Well, thank you so much for joining us on Motorsport Report, and good luck this weekend.
Thank you.
Thank you.